We've all had that one friend who wins every game of cards, always calls the right Uber before a rainstorm, and somehow never pays full price for anything. Patrick Mahomes is that guy in the NFL. And while fans admire him, plenty of players, they absolutely can't stand him. So, let's spill the tea. Here are 10 NFL players who openly and sometimes hilariously can't stand Patrick Mahomes. 10. Joey Bosa. Joey Bosa has been around elite quarterbacks, but Mahomes uniquely gets under his skin. Part of it is the constant losing. The Chiefs have beaten Bosa's Chargers so often that it's practically an annual tradition. But the real salt poured in when Netflix released Quarterback, a documentary that spotlighted Mahomes' rise.
Everybody's watched that the quarterback documentary right on Netflix.
I'm gonna watch that. What?
You haven't watched it?
I'm gonna watch a documentary on Mahomes.
I don't know. I mean,
for what?
I don't know. Because at least it's some kind of football.
There's 8 billion shows on TV.
Bosa couldn't stomach watching his rival glorified on screen. He openly admitted he refused to watch because he didn't want to see Mahomes getting more attention. And it's not just jealousy. Bosa has tried to take that frustration out on the field. In one memorable matchup, he came after Mahomes with extra heat, nearly injuring him on a hit that fans still replay when discussing dirty plays. To Bosa, Mahomes isn't just another quarterback. He's the golden child who overshadows everyone. And Bosa's hatred has only grown with each Kansas City victory. When media praise becomes unbearable, some rivals would rather mute the TV than watch Mahomes celebrated. 9. Ja'Marr Chase. Few players have been as consistent in their dislike as Ja'Marr Chase. It all started when Mahomes' Chiefs broke the Bengals' Super Bowl dreams, knocking Chase out on a last-second field goal. Losing the biggest game of his life stung badly, and Chase never really let it go. Since then, his pettiness has become legendary. He refuses to swap jerseys with Chiefs players, openly roots against Kansas City,
Hell no.
And takes every opportunity to remind people he isn't a fan. When Mahomes was crowned the league's #1 player, Chase responded with shade, saying that his quarterback, Joe Burrow, was still the best. The rivalry has even fueled fan-made memes comparing Mahomes without Travis Kelce to an average quarterback. For Chase, it's not about denying Mahomes' talent. It's about the bitterness of being beaten at the highest stage. 8. Troy Aikman. When you've won 3 Super Bowls yourself, you tend to guard your legacy. Troy Aikman, Cowboys legend, has never been shy about downplaying Mahomes' greatness. From early in Mahomes' career, Aikman questioned whether he truly deserved comparisons to all-time greats. Even as Mahomes stacked MVPs and records, Aikman pushed back, insisting the kid hadn't earned that level of hype yet. His criticisms weren't just about rings. They were about style. Aikman repeatedly accused Mahomes of exaggerating hits, flopping to draw flags, and using the modern game's rules to his advantage. For an old-school quarterback who played in a far more physical era, Mahomes represented everything he disliked about today's NFL. 7. Ben Roethlisberger. When Ben Roethlisberger speaks on quarterbacks, people listen. But when asked about Mahomes, Big Ben stirred controversy by saying he'd still take Aaron Rodgers in his prime over Mahomes today.
I think Aaron Rodgers in his prime was one of the top few to ever do it. And so is Patrick Mahomes at his prime. Patrick Mahomes is just like entering out of his prime, I think.
You think? It was a subtle dig, but fans and analysts read between the lines. Roethlisberger was reluctant to give Mahomes his flowers. This came off as jealousy, especially since Mahomes was already surpassing many of Roethlisberger's career achievements at a younger age. Mahomes' trainer even clapped back, mocking the comment and pointing out Mahomes' playoff dominance. For Mahomes, it was another example of an older generation refusing to pass the torch. For Roethlisberger, it may have been part pride, part envy. Either way, the comments painted him as a quarterback who couldn't quite stomach Mahomes' rise to the top. 6. Micah Parsons. Defensive players live by instinct, and few are more instinctive than Micah Parsons. But when it comes to Patrick Mahomes, Parsons has a very specific gripe. He thinks Mahomes manipulates the rulebook. One of Mahomes' favorite tricks is dancing near the sideline, forcing defenders into impossible decisions. If they hit him late, it's a penalty. If they hesitate, Mahomes gains yards. Parsons publicly complained that Mahomes uses this loophole to bait defenders, and he even suggested the league needed to change the rules to prevent quarterbacks from weaponizing sideline runs. Think about that. One of the NFL's brightest defensive stars calling for rule changes because of a single quarterback. That's how frustrating Mahomes can be to face. For Parsons, it isn't just competition. It's a feeling that the deck is stacked in Mahomes' favor, not just by his talent, but by the NFL's rules themselves. And when a player is rewriting the game in real time, rivals don't just dislike him. They want the system adjusted to slow him down. 5. Tashawn Gibson. Sometimes the hate isn't subtle. In a heated matchup, 49ers safety Tashawn Gibson picked off Mahomes and immediately labeled him a regular quarterback.
That is just a regular quarterback, bro. Ain't nothing different. They just ain't been catching it. He regular, bro. And we gonna make his ass look regular.
It was a sharp attempt to puncture the myth that Mahomes is untouchable. For a moment, it worked. Fans replayed the interception and Gibson's words like a victory speech. But Mahomes being Mahomes, the comeback was swift. He rallied Kansas City for a win, making Gibson's jab look more like wishful thinking than reality. To make matters worse, Mahomes' wife got in on the joke, tweeting playfully about the regular quarterback line.
I know. I'm a regular quarterback. This is what it is.
Turning it into a viral moment that actually boosted Mahomes' confidence. For Gibson, it was a reminder that trash talk against Mahomes often backfires. 4. Jack Jones. Leave it to Jack Jones to create one of the pettiest Mahomes-hating moments in recent memory. On Christmas Day 2023, Jones intercepted Mahomes and strutted his way into the end zone. But he didn't stop there. He stared Mahomes down, taunted him all the way, and even pretended to hand the game ball to a young Chiefs fan before yanking it back. The NFL itself dubbed the move "stealing Christmas," and Jones relished every second of it. Afterward, he doubled down, saying Mahomes didn't intimidate him and that the Chiefs weren't invincible. It was part taunt, part psychological warfare, and all disdain for the league's most hated quarterback. 3. Max Crosby. If anyone takes the Mahomes rivalry personally, it's Max Crosby. The Raiders' defensive end has flat out said he wants to literally kill Mahomes on the field. Hyperbole, yes, but it captures his intensity. Crosby has sacked Mahomes multiple times, trash-talked him relentlessly, and even joined fans in mocking Mahomes' voice with Kermit the Frog memes. This isn't just playful banter. Crosby has admitted Mahomes gets under his skin, and it shows every time the Raiders and Chiefs meet. Their battles have become some of the most physical, personal showdowns in recent memory, with Crosby often celebrating small victories as if they were championships. For Mahomes, Crosby is the rival who keeps coming, no matter how many times the Chiefs win. For Crosby, Mahomes is the obstacle he can't shake, the guy who turns his best efforts into just another highlight reel. And that kind of frustration breeds deep, lasting dislike. 2. Eli Manning. Unlike Roethlisberger, Eli Manning took a lighter approach. But make no mistake, his trolling still had bite. Manning, part owner of a women's soccer team, won a championship ring in the NWSL before Mahomes' owned squad did. He wasted no time reminding Mahomes of it, flashing the ring and joking that he was one up on the Chiefs star. It was tongue-in-cheek, but it played into a larger narrative. 1. Josh Allen. No rivalry defines Mahomes' villain role better than his battles with Josh Allen. The Bills' quarterback is elite, beloved, and insanely talented. But against Mahomes, it's been heartbreak after heartbreak. The infamous 13 seconds game, the overtime coin toss, playoff losses, and Allen can't seem to escape Mahomes' shadow. Fans have turned it into a meme, calling Mahomes Allen's personal Freddy Krueger, haunting him in big moments. Even Allen has admitted the frustration, joking about how Mahomes always seems to have the last word. It's playful, but you can see the exhaustion in his eyes whenever the Chiefs end another Bills run. For Mahomes, Allen is the perfect foil, the rival who makes his victories even sweeter.